Yay! Welcome to the project of unlearning feeling guilty. I think as an individual topic this is quite juicy, and the even more because we come from a culture that teaches us to feel guilty for everything and everywhere. Like up to the point of feeling guilty for our pure existence. So, what's the medicine? The medicine is not believing in feelings of guilt as something that is rooted in your emotional system or mental system. When it comes to feeling guilty, it runs pretty deep and it has such a huge impact on our overall well-being, just in being alive, and our energy level, that I suggest that we refer to feelings of guilt not as feelings and not as belief systems or concepts, not to feelings of guilt as inner voices, but as an energetic dynamic that we learned in this culture and we are here to unlearn. So it's pretty simple. When I feel guilty, I might be connected to my level of experience and feeling and emotions and urge to take some action steps, etc. But at the end of the day, it runs as an energetic depression in my nervous system. And when I work with my nervous system, when I work with my energy, with my body, with my physicality around moving and breathing and maybe even screaming, I can tap into a source of medicine or into some kind of response to feelings of guilt that can truly match this power and where I can truly rewrite the script. So, just as some kind of model that might help getting some clarification around this confusing state of I feel guilty, do I have to feel guilty, what did he mean by that, should I stop feeling guilty, etc, etc, etc. Feelings of guilt come with an aura of confusion and like, what's happening here? It's somehow the whole field becomes blurry, and I want to offer us a pretty precise and easy model that in my experience and research is clear enough in order to guide us out of the field of feeling guilty. And that is, let's say we as humans have a certain level of energy. By the way, our level of energy is insanely high when we are born. So this is our lifetime and this is time into the future. This is just both directions open, just saying this is a high amount of energy and this is a low amount of energy. And just as the differentiation between depression and some kind of ecstasy and joy for life, this is zero. Let's say this energy curve, which isn't a curve but just a frozen state, is zero. This is neutral. So when we are born, we are not able to feel guilty. The whole concept of feeling guilty and shrinking and crushing our energy level just doesn't make sense. It doesn't contribute anything to anybody or anything. So we just are not able to do that. So we are born somewhere here, being madly in love with life, welcoming every wave, every adventure. And also, yes, it might be. Sometimes it's scary and sometimes it's painful. But we are taking the wave. This is us being born. And then culture, our parents, etc., mainly respond to our high energy level from the adult, collectively depressed energy level around this is too much. So the first thing is, you do not learn to feel guilty around you screamed too loud, or you are blonde instead of black-haired, or whatever. First of all, the first layers, teachings around guilt are just, could you please reduce your high level of energy? And then your mind, that is also like, it's just developing. Your mind has to develop in order to function in this dysfunctional culture. And then your mind makes up, so my energy was too high, so maybe that's because I'm a girl. Maybe that's because I'm a boy. That's maybe because I'm blonde. That's maybe because I'm screaming too loud. But it doesn't really matter what kind of narrative you put around it. First of all, feelings of guilt are the most effective way of making you crush your energy level until it's a pretty fast, pretty direct highway to hell. I can say hell because everything under zero is suffering, but so many people, like the majority of people nowadays and in civilized cultures, are based around religion, are based around their energy level, etc., their concepts, and so on and so forth, on an energetic depression anyway, that all of this is somehow also normal or shut down. It's numb. It's like, I mean, that's life. Let's face it. We are not living for fun. And I disagree. The jungle kept being alive because it was alive, celebrating aliveness and not feelings of guilt. So there is something around you being born in ecstatic aliveness and you being conditioned to feel guilty as the tool that is put onto you and onto me just in order to make you shrink around your natural innate aliveness and energy level. There are two things from there. What is the best counterpart? What is the best cure for feelings of guilt? Faking to be ecstatic. Like fake it till you make it. Fake your way out of feelings of guilt until you somehow manage to find your way back into your original sense of aliveness and energy. And it's really faking, because the moment you feel guilty for something, you feel so depleted, which is the purpose of the whole thing, that you somehow have to force yourself. And you will see that in the demo video that I'm doing with those 3 phases, around you shaking as if you would be very alive, you crushing into your feeling of guilt, and then you managing your way out. And it's really the last phase is the most important one, and I really ask you to force yourself to jump around, open your eyes, having fun as if you would have fun. Because it is, if we do not fake in our energetic depression when we are feeling guilty, if you do not fake that you have fun, you will not recover from this kind of break that is put onto your aliveness. And the second implication is, if you want to manage your life without feelings of guilt, and why it's worth trying it, we will come to that in the second video. If you want to manage your life without a chronic feeling of guilt, you have to agree to a life that is not normal. If you want to live a life without feelings of guilt, you have to agree to a life that isn't normal. Because as long as you are addicted to being a normal man or a normal woman or a normal whatever kind of being, you have to agree to a collectively depressed level of energy. You have to agree to a level of energy that somehow touches zero, and during being in love or during holiday twice a year for a few weeks, something slightly above zero. But that's that's the frame of energy that is accepted as normal and as not dangerous, because not too much. So you somehow have to face your innate conditioned fear of your own too muchness around energy and around expressiveness. It's an ongoing journey. I say it as the good news. You have to agree to a life that isn't normal and isn't depressed. And I say it as some kind of warning, because unlearning feelings of guilt, it starts as a private hobby, out of private suffering. But it's a collective bomb around changing the global state of our energy and gratitude for life. Thank you for checking out this video. Honestly, this is just the beginning, because my work is about transferring individual healing tools to the collective nervous system. And if you're curious about those events, I host free, totally free online events once a month approximately, and you are very welcome to join us. You are very welcome to feed the collective process by adding your individual power, your individual time, your individual resources to it. If you are curious, check out the link below this video, and thank you for your generosity contributing to this global process.